Hi there boys and girls, and welcome back to the channel. Right, we've got some more Ace Mastery replays for you. First of all, we're here with SpongeBob Carry Pants. He's in the Centurion Mark 1 Tier 8 on Alpenstadt. And yeah, it's a very good game, this one, from Bob. He holds this position that he's about to adopt just here, and he holds it for pretty much most of the game. But the absolute mayhem that he throws into the enemy team from this position is fantastic. As you can see, the red team push this flank very aggressively. This is traditionally the sort of light and medium flank, but the red team pushes very aggressively. You're going to get a couple of heavies over here. There's going to be a TD in support of this position as well. Yeah, you're going to see that he really does just make himself an utter menace on this flank. And he's going to make the red team pay for it. Every single time that he's got his gun reloaded, he's looking to whack in more damage. And one of the things I found very interesting about this game was, you know, the amount of targets that you see him reduced down to a one-shot tank in this game, and he doesn't quite manage to get the kills because he's basically looking for his next target. Everybody's a hero when they're charging a one-shot tank. It takes a great deal more skill to reduce them down to being one-shots, and you're going to see him do that a lot in this game. He's just maintaining this position, using the strength of his tank. He's got good manoeuvrability, he's got a good turret, so he wants to maintain a hold-down position. His friend in the T92E1 over there is also doing a good job keeping these guys spotted, but not revealing his tank too much, and it's just going to lead the red team here to get frustrated and keep pushing out over the top and keep exposing their vehicles. And yeah, SpongeBob here is just going to make them pay for it. We've already slammed in quite a few shells into Tiger 2 down there. Now Tiger 1 comes over for a bit. We're looking for targets of opportunity here. We have a nice shot at the side of a TD turret there, so he's now shooting cross map, and every time he's reloaded, he's looking to put more damage in. Just keep ducking back behind the building using the reverse slope. There we go, takes a bounce from a Tiger 1 there, and he's just being an absolute pest, and it's just a great display of tanking for the benefit of the team. I'm sure by now he's probably getting a little bit frustrated and wouldn't mind taking the odd kill and charging in, but he's not going to do it. He's just going to keep eroding the hit point pool of the entire enemy team here. Now, as you can see, I mean, the green team have gone tanks down, but they can't get past this flank. They just can't get past the amount of damage that's being thrown at them, and how quickly they're getting reduced down to one-shot tanks by the effective work that SpongeBob is doing here. It's just a great display of team or tanking for the team. He really is. I mean, these two guys, if they had any wherewithal about him, they'd have already pushed on him by now. But they're more concerned about the fact that every single time they get within range of this gun, he's slamming more shells into them. I mean, he's pretty much held up this flank mostly on his own. He had a bit of assistance in the early part of the game, but yeah, and again, other people, you know, he gets these guys reduced down to one shots, and other people reaping the benefits and clearing up the kill. However, we're back with Tiger 2, who was giving him a bit of a giving some grief to him earlier, and yeah, SpongeBob's not having this now. He's had enough of everybody nicking his kill, so he's closed in on this guy, clears up Tiger 2 for a win, and frankly, just an exceptional display of tanking there. 3,800 damage, 1 kill, and a well-deserved ace mastery. Fantastic play, my friend. Okay, here we are with Frostwalker 27, and he's rolling out Lost Temple in the Chaffee. Light tank, tier 6, and he's going to do actually pretty much the same kind of thing. He's just going to prove to be an utter pest, which is exactly what a light tank is supposed to be. It's not always the light tank's job to get a lot of damage. They're certainly capable of doing it though if they're driven well, and effectively you've got to drive these things like it's a glass cannon. You don't want to be getting at one-on-ones, you don't want to be brawling with it like you would potentially in a medium tank. You want to be using your speed and agility to isolate targets, hit them from flanks, and then use your fast firing gun to keep whacking in the shells. And that's exactly what Frostwalker is going to do here. Now he could have closed in on this target, and potentially with a couple of his teammates, got into a hit point trade and taken him out, but he'd have lost hit points of his own doing it. Instead, he's done exactly the right thing. He's found himself a position of cover. He's got some soft cover with a bush in front of him. He's using the camo values of his tank, and yeah, he's just going to keep whacking shells into this guy. And there we go. That clears him up for kill number 1. So he can see his next target isolated off. So this guy's a light tank, so he can afford to potentially be a little bit more aggressive with this guy. So we're going to push round on him, and as he comes round, see here, doesn't quite make that shot, but goes in for an aggressive ram there, slows this guy's momentum down completely, goes in, and it does actually look like somebody else just stole his kill away from him at the last minute there. But they've cleared this flank. Now the green team are a tank up, but they have gone a base down, so it's time for Frostwalker here to do exactly what a light tank is supposed to do in these circumstances, and get to flanks and start throwing in the fast stinging shots, and that's exactly what he's going to do. And the thing I love about it as well, he's going to keep relocating his tank. He's not going to keep poking the same place. As soon as he gets a shot in there, he's looking to relocate. He doesn't want these guys pointing their barrels at his last location. He wants to keep nipping out, whacking in another piece of damage, and effectively getting their guns turned, making the team look at him whilst he's keeping his tank in a position of cover, and just keep throwing out the stinging shots. And as you can see, he's doing it very, very effectively. He's up to just over 1200 damage now. Red are still concentrating on going for the caps at this point. So again, relocates his vehicle, whacks in another shot. Now we can see an enemy tank here, one shot, so he wants to get this guy cleared up, which he does very quickly for kill number 2. He's aware that he's got a Churchill on his left, so he comes around the side and back of this enemy tank, uses it as cover whilst he clears him up for kill number 3. He's now going to dash into the base, and our friend in the Churchill here this is a classic example of being fixated on clearing a tank. Yes, it's vitally important to clear guns, and if you see a one-shot tank, clear it, but don't give up the entirety of your hit point pool to do it. I mean, as you can see, Frostwalker's to his side and behind him here. It's allowed him to capture the base, and this guy is so fixated with wanting to close on the one-shot green tank, he's just going to completely ignore Frostwalker here until it's far too late. And by the time he's reduced down to one shot and he eventually turns his turret, Frostwalker's pretty much taken his entire hit point pool. So it is important to clear one-shot tanks quickly, but don't give up the entirety of your hit point pool doing it. Frostwalker, frankly, just made that look very, very easy. But an excellent game, 2,564 damage, 4 kills, and a well-deserved ace mastery. Well played, Frostwalker. Okay, and our last game, we're here with WDR 1400, and he's rolling out in the T62 Tier 10 medium. And again, this is more of the same that we're seeing from the first 2 games. You're just not going to see this gun really stop very much. These two, his two mates in the light tank, these two are going to be all over this battlefield. They are going to be hugely effective at just completely disrupting the enemy team, punching massively above their weight, and sticking in some fantastic damage numbers. So you see they've got 2 tanks on this flank, using the rocks effectively there. We're going to isolate Mr. Sheridan off here very quickly. Some focus fire with his 2-mate. Now he's reduced down to 1. He knows his 2-mate is going to get the kill, so he's now already sticking in the damage into the Vickers there. And there's no way that this guy is just going to be allowed to get away. He's got 2 tanks now, throwing in a huge amount of DPM into him, and very quickly this guy's reduced down to a 1-shot, and our friend's teammate clears him up again. So they've now completely won this flank. It's time to do what all medium drivers, especially in upper tiers, love to do when you've managed to clear your flank, which is get over to the other flank, especially on a map like Dead Rail, and start thumping into the backs of big TDs and heavy tanks, just using the accuracy and speed of your gun to really cause these guys no end of grief. And that's exactly what is going to happen here. Jagdpanzer E100 there, he was probably enjoying himself immensely, sitting at the back of the battlefield, not really moving, and yeah, his whole world came apart in about 45 seconds. He's now been reduced down to a one-shot, and that's allowed our friend here, and yep, he's got the back of a mouse, so he's going to take this guy on and keep thumping in the damage as the 2-mate kit clears up the Jagdpanzer. So again, these two are just ripping this entire battlefield apart. With not, and it has to be said, without a huge amount of assistance from the rest of the team, who haven't been hugely effective. As you can see, they are a tank down. They are bases up, so they don't have to worry about that. So we're now going to close in on Mr. Mouse here, and this is exactly what you do when you're a med driver and you come across a mouse. You get to his side, you get behind him, and you just do not give up that position. You just use your fast reload to keep thumping in shells into the weaker armour at the sides and the rear, and you keep doing it until he's gone. And that's exactly what happened there. Now he is getting pushed on by an E100, so very carefully going to reverse up here, start slabbing shells into an alternative target. Doesn't want to be taking on an E100 from the front. So E100 is backed off now. You can see that he really doesn't want to get into a very up-close and personal tussle with two faster tanks with this level of DPM, and there's not really a lot he can do at this point. Whichever way he turns, he's going to have one of these guys pouring shells into the weak part of his armour, and these guys are just going round and round and giving this guy an infinitely horrible time. He must have been ready to bite his iPad in half at this point. So the game has won on supremacy points, but our friend here manages to stick the last shell in and clear up Mr. E100 for his second kill. His platoon mate gets the 5 other kills, and as you can see, 7,800 damage, 2 kills, an incredible ace mastery, and a great display of medium tanking in the top tier. Fantastic replay. Okay, I'd like to thank the contributors to the video this week. Thank you all for watching and supporting the channel. Please like, comment and subscribe, and as always, good hunting and bye for now.